join with him, Gandalf. We must join with Sauron. It would be wise, my friend.
Tell me, friend, when did Saruman the Wise abandon reason for madness?
Evolution. The idea that non-living things can change into living and bacteria into people is nothing new. In one form or another, it has been around since the time of the Greeks. Today, however, many scientists are agreeing that this kind of evolution is unprovable and is really no more than a belief. That belief, however, is being taught in most schools and presented in museums as a scientific fact. The problem is, whatever way you look at it, evolution theory cannot be reconciled with the doctrinal teaching of the Church. The Church teaches that the ancestor of all mankind was one real single man called Adam, who before he committed sin was immortal. That means he could not die, and was physically and intellectually perfect, a kind of Superman.
If evolution really did happen, the Church would have to change its teaching, wouldn't it?
Unfortunately, people have been taught for so long to believe that evolution is a scientific fact that they feel obliged to change Christ's teaching, the doctrinal teaching of the Church, to fit evolution theory rather than doubt it. Many say that Adam evolved from some pre-existing species. This means denying the infallible teaching that Adam was immortal. Others say that Adam was only a symbol for a lot of primitive humans freshly evolved from the lower primates. They must not only reject the magisterial teaching that Adam was the first man, head of the human family, they are also obliged to reject or reinterpret the basic doctrine of original sin committed by Adam. What they don't realize is that these teachings cannot be changed.
But why is that, Father?
Because they come directly from Christ. You see, St. Peter and the other apostles received the power through the Holy Spirit not only to understand the real meaning of Christ's teaching, but to hand that meaning on to others. As the apostles laid hands on the ministers they ordained, so those ministers in turn laid hands on others, and so on. In this way, the teaching handed on from generation to generation right up to the present day was preserved intact as Christ gave it to the apostles. So irrespective of what any individual may say, when the Church teaches authoritatively from her magisterium, we are guaranteed that we are receiving the personal, infallible teaching of Christ as originally revealed to the apostles. The immortality of Adam and original sin are such teachings. And therefore it is Christ who tells us that Adam and Eve were real persons, not symbols.
But surely people's main concern in this world is to lead a good Christian life and love their neighbor, with all the injustices, with the problems of poverty, of abortion and all the rest. Whether or not you believe that Adam was the first man hardly seems very important.
So it might seem. But unless we love God, we cannot receive the grace we so badly need to help our neighbor. You see, Christ made it very clear. He said,
"If a man loves me, he will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our home with him. He who does not love me does not keep my word."
So when people do not accept the doctrinal teaching of the Church, that is Christ's words to us, They are disobeying God's command to love him. But the matter does not end there. As soon as they doubt that Adam was immortal and the first man, they are automatically obliged to doubt the doctrine of original sin. As a result, the connected teachings, such as baptism and redemption, are changed. And so eventually, without really realizing it, they have come to change the teaching of Christ. And for the sake of an unprovable theory, they have lost the grace that keeps their faith alive. This is a very grave situation because it affects our chances of salvation. Perhaps this program will help people to see that evolution is not supported by science and is prejudicial to the faith.
Cristo Señor, mi Dios y Salvador, mi gran anhelo es servir a ti.